Hello and welcome, my name's Suzanne from Nonstop Papercrafts. Thank you very much for joining the channel. So in today's video we are going to be looking at how to make these paper ruffles. So I've used them here as tabs for my journal, so for each signature there is a tab, but you can use these to decorate the whole edge of the page. They can decorate the top of journaling cards, tags, as I said, can add just some extra interest to the tops of tucks and pockets. So if I had a large pocket down here, I could also have one of these ruffles along the top. There are so many different ways that you can use them. So I'm going to show you how to make them. Now these ones in my journal have been sewn. I will show you how to make them where they are sewn, but if you're somebody that doesn't use a sewing machine or doesn't like using a sewing machine, then I'll show you a non-sew method too. Okay, let's get to it. So all you need for this is a pile of scraps, so yeah, using up scraps, and a glue stick if you're using the non-sew method, although sometimes adding a little bit of glue if you are sewing also helps because it just holds it in place. So what you're looking for are strips of paper. So if you have a book page like this, then you may want to tear up your strips. Now you can try and mix and match for contrast. I tend to go for quite neutral colours, as you can see, for my journals, which is why I've got these, but you can have all sorts of different pattern papers, whatever you have available. Okay, so first of all I will show you the sew version so you can see that. So all I'm going to do, you can use a ruler if you want this straight, but I quite like it a little bit jagged, is I'm going to tear a strip down off of this book page. Okay, and I'm going to tear a bit of that white off as well. I don't mind a little bit of white at the end, but I don't want too much. Okay, so what else can we add to this? Let's do, yeah, this darker paper. So if I carry on tearing down here. So if you are going to layer up, then obviously you want whatever strip's going on top to be slightly narrower. Okay, so actually in my book I did 3 layers. Okay, so I've got like a brown parsley paper at the bottom, then I've got book page, and then I actually put music paper down the middle. So yeah, you can layer it up. Obviously it depends on the thickness of your paper. So this passing paper is so wafer thin, that's why I was able to do those other 2 layers on top, because this is just so thin. So yeah, bear that in mind, but 2 layers is plenty. All I'm going to do is just tear down that just so I get a slightly rougher edge on that side as well. But again, you don't have to do this. Straight edges are absolutely fine. I just like the rougher edge. Almost there. It also doesn't matter if they are slightly different lengths, because when you start sort of folding it up, you can always trim off anything that you don't want. So all you do is you kind of make a S or a Z fold. So you're just folding like that, and then you just keep doing that. Keep doing that all the way down. Okay. And there we have a ruffle. And then all I would do, so I probably would tear off that top bit and tear off a bit of the bottom, and then all you're going to do is just run this through your sewing machine. So I would run it through this way so that I can hold these bits down as they're going through. So I'm just going to go and quickly do that. Okay, so here is my sewn piece. So I didn't do a zigzag stitch on this one like I did the others. I just did a normal straight stitch, and then obviously I've got these bits which I can just trim off afterwards. Okay, and then that, you just sort of stick it down one side and then stick it to the edge of your page. So if I get my book, just go to a different page. Yeah, so I would glue only up to half, so I'd probably just go up to that sewing line, and then I know when I stick it down, anything this side of the sewing line is what's glued. So then you just stick it in place. And again, like I said, it can go along a pocket. So if you had a longer strip, it would go along a pocket. It could go at the top of a journaling card. If you had a smaller one, then it could be like a little ruffle that goes on the top of a tag. There are so many different ways that you can use this. Like I said, I love the fact that they are tabs because they poke out. They're really easy to see, but yeah, kind of add to the junk journal, I think, because they do have those rough edges. So that's the sewn version. Okay, if you're somebody that doesn't like to sew, then there is another way. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'll still use book page. Let's maybe do a small one that could go at the top of a tag. So let's have a look. There we go. And we can use this as well. Okay, so all you would do is, this time I'm not going to involve that one in the crunching. I'm literally going to fold this one. And another thing I didn't mention is it doesn't matter if your folds are different sizes or they start going a little bit wonky. That kind of adds to the charm, I think. So that bit doesn't matter either. You could even intentionally try to curve them round. So that one's now got a bit of a curved edge. It's entirely up to you. So if I was going to put this at the top of a tag, actually having it at a slight curve, all I did for that, it was just sort of like bring it in at the bottom. And it's had that curve. What I might do is maybe just ink up the edges and around the sides, because like I said, I know I'm going to use this for the top of a tag. Okay, so I have my distress ink. I'm going to use a vintage photo just to kind of go around the edges a little bit. Oh, ended up with half it on my finger. Okay. Right, and then all you do with this one is, actually I can probably tear this down a little bit more. So now that that's curled up, you only need this as long as that is curled. So let's maybe go with that. And then all you do is put glue along the back of this and then stick that down, and then that will hold all of your folds in place. Okay, so instead of the stitching holding your folds in place, the glue will now be doing that. Okay, and there is your little cluster, no sew, with that. So like I said, this is going to go at the top of a tag, so that's why it's kind of arched a little bit. You can obviously play around with this. You may decide that you want this as kind of an arch shape, so you could have torn it into an arch as well. I could quite easily stamp a word on there or put a sticker or something on there just to add a bit more to it, but yeah, that can go at the top. Obviously if I did it straight like this one, it could also go on the end of a page. The only thing you will find if you do this with the no sew method is, obviously this is quite a short one, but if this was longer, you may find that they kind of start to curl like that. Don't worry, so like this one's bending, yeah, don't worry about that. It's purely because obviously it's only been held up at the top, it's not secure on the bottom. So all you need to think of is, obviously once it is stuck down either on the edge of your book page or at the top of a pocket or whatever you're sticking it on, that will then hold all of those back pieces together. So it will lay flat once it's kind of stuck down onto whatever it is you're going to add it to. But there you go, you have two clusters, one sewn, one no sew. So it's entirely up to you which you decide to try out and use. So I really hope that you found this useful. If you did, please click like. If you would like to see more crafty videos where I am obviously filling up with different journal ideas in my own journal, then please click the subscribe button and also click the bell so that you are notified when a new video does pop up. You can also find me on social media. All the links will be in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a lovely crafty day. Thank you again. Bye bye.